This week, something that has never happened in recorded history is taking place. Seriously. Astrologers have been looking at this configuration, the one happening this week, for over 70 years, anticipating this very moment and wondering what the hell it's going to bring. No doubt it's a paradigm shift, but is it an evil paradigm shift or a really positive and amazing one? And I'm sure you're also wondering what this means for you. Not to mention, of course, it's also now Leo season. Oh my God, high drama, high time for tea. Let's do this. Hello, and welcome to Astrology with Aliza Kelly. I am your host and your spiritual friend, Aliza Kelly, and I'm so glad that you're here. Thank goodness that you are here. Woo! What a week to be here. This is your weekly brew. I serve it to you hot and fresh every single Monday. And don't forget that I also serve on Wednesdays. These are our tea parties, so stick with me, kid, and I will be sure to serve the hottest tea in this side of the galaxy twice a week. The theme of this week is holy shit. And the top 3 things you need to know are, number 1, well, first, the sun is moving into Leo. So happy solar return, you sexy little lions. It is your time to shine in full regalia, of course. Your birthday season is also corresponding with some of the most dramatic astrology that we've had in modern history. J'adore, love that for you. Number 2, yes, in the days ahead, we are truly going to be in the thick of astrology's most talked about, most wild, most unexpected, most unprecedented aspect, Barbault's basket, which has been on all of our minds for 70 plus years, all of us being the collective astrologer hive mind. I, of course, am only 17, not over 70, but you get the vibe. And number 3, throughout this week, Jupiter at 4 degrees of Leo, Uranus at 4 degrees of Gemini, Neptune at 4 degrees of Aries, and Pluto at 4 degrees of Aquarius are all going to be smooching. This is Barbault's basket. And there has been no moment in history where these 4 planets have aligned, let alone 4 planets at 4 degrees. So what is going to happen? What does this mean? What does this mean for you? Honey, we have a lot to discuss today, so let's dive in right now. The tea is hot and ready, and it is served. Whew! Welcome, my beautiful community, to Astrology and your Monday Weekly Brew. It's me, Aliza Kelly, your host and spiritual friend, and this is a crazy week, kiddos. This is the crazy, wild, wacky, unprecedented week that we actually have been talking about and alluding to for weeks and months, but there are also astrologers who have been talking about this a lot longer than we have here on Astrology, which only just launched in April. There have been astrologers who have been talking about this for over 70 years because that is how big of a deal it is. And now it's here. We are living and breathing it. And in the days ahead, we are going to find out what the hell this means. What is going to happen? Are you scared? Are you excited? Are you a little bit of both? I mean, definitely same, hard same, but it's also Leo season. And that means before we do anything, well, baby, we gotta roll out the red carpet. This week, the sun moves into its home base, the zodiac sign it just loves to relish, and that means Leo season is arriving on Wednesday. My gorgeous lions and lionesses, cutie patootie cubs, happy solar return. You finally made it. You did it. It's all about you. Now, there is truly nothing quite like Leo season, not just for the Leos, but for everyone. Every year, right in the heart of summer, the sun says, turn that shit up. Let's max this out, baby. Let's pump it up. Louder. Pump it. Louder. Black-eyed peas. So Leo-coded. Yes, I think so. Now, in these dog days of summer, the temperature is hot. No one is working. or if you are working, it may appear that no one else is working, but everyone truly is trying to make sure that they are fully and completely present in this season, milking it for all it's got. Leo is bold, it's bright, it's unapologetic, it's humid, it's hair, it's hot, it's in your face. Leo makes its presence known. And if you know a Leo, it is no surprise that you know they are a Leo, because they will be sure to remind you that they are a Leo over and over and over again, because that is what Leo does best. We call that tank. There are no coincidences. But I will say that Leo energy broadly is often very misunderstood. Leo is often reduced to vanity or attention seeking or even like personality disorder level self-obsessed. But really, Leo is just trying to bring people together. It's really out here like trying to get a vibe going. Seriously, ask any Leo what their favorite thing to do is, and it will be some version of being among friends and having fun and being creative, laughing with friends, being entertained by friends, entertaining them. Leo is a fire sign, but it's not seeking like a solitary singular experience. If we're being honest, that's more of a Sagittarius thing. Leo genuinely sees itself as the bonfire, the centerpiece, the epicenter of connection and togetherness. But Leo also knows that if anyone is going to stay at said bonfire past 9 p.m., well, honey, it better razzle dazzle with some high quality performances. What? Leo is the sign of creative life force. It's talent, it's art, it's passion, it's pleasure, it's prana. It's the energy, right? It's the energetics of being alive. I mean, it's literally photosynthesis. It's being nurtured and sustained and living by way of the sun. In medical astrology, Leo rules both the heart and the spine, two body parts that are absolutely essential for bravery and courage, which Leo has in abundance, but are also incredibly delicate and very vulnerable, and if injured, will kill you. And I think that this speaks very perfectly to both the strength and resilience of Leo energy, but also the fragility, the ego, the need to sort of preserve what you have, right? Leo needs to feel strong and brave, but if those sensibilities are ever compromised by someone or something, either real or perceived for any reason at all, then Leo is like, well, fuck, I'm dead. You've killed me. And how am I supposed to Leo now? Everyone has Leo somewhere in their chart because everyone has every sign in their chart. So over the next few weeks, that Leo area of your chart is going to be activated by the sun's movement through this sign. And that activation is going to invite you to get a little more visible. Be a little more present, create, dress up, romanticize, dramatize, and never, ever apologize. Well, I mean, if you do need to apologize, you should apologize, but you shouldn't apologize for being who you are. You know what I mean. Don't apologize for being the bad, bold bitch that is true to your soul, because it's Leo season, honey, and that means you shouldn't apologize for taking up space. But maybe if you do step on someone's toes or take their light or yell over them, that is something maybe you can apologize for. Well, to put a little maraschino cherry on top of this whole thing, I do have more good news, which is that Mercury retrograde also is about to end. Yes, within 24 hours of the sun moving into Leo, Mercury retrograde is over. And that means that there's going to be less misunderstandings, less technology failures, and more opportunities for you to shove your way into the front and make sure that you are being seen and that the light looks really, really good on you. You're welcome. But all this Leo energy is really getting fired up in a very unique and interesting way this year, in the year of our Lord, 2026, because at the same time that the sun is shifting into this new sign, there is also a massive, historical, tremendous configuration touching down, and we have to talk about it. Now, if you have been following along over the past few weeks, you have heard me mention this little thing called a basket, Barbault's basket. And maybe you've been like, okay, a basket, a tisket, a tasket? Is it a Victorian picnic? Aliza, are we going on a haunted Victorian picnic? Honestly, that is summer goals. Maybe that's something we could plan for summer 2027. But alas, not this year. No. This year, said basket is referring to this once in human history astrological configuration that is totally unprecedented and is happening right now. So we have enough baskets, okay? This basket refers to the shape that is being made by 4 planets meeting in a very special way. These 4 planets are all in fire and air signs, which are signs that exist within the same polarity. Now, a polarity is one of a few ways of organizing the zodiac. There's a number of ways that we can divide it and organize it. One way is by dividing the zodiac by element, right? Fire, earth, water, air. We can also organize the zodiac through the modalities. And modalities are a reflection of where a certain sign falls in its season. So we have cardinal signs, fixed signs, mutable signs. Cardinal signs are the ones that occur at the beginning of seasons. Fixed occur in the middle. Mutable are at the end. They change the season. But there is another third secret way of dividing the zodiac, and that is by way of polarities. And there are just 2 polarities. Traditionally, these polarities were referred to as masculine and feminine. And the masculine signs are fire and air signs, and the feminine signs are water and earth signs. Now, obviously, hello. We do not like to feel like we need to abide by a gender binary. How boring, how lame, how silly. So there are plenty of other yin-yang-esque ways that we can think of these 2 polarities. Maybe we can think of them as reactive and reflective, or external or internal, or day or night, right? Hard and soft. Whatever makes the most sense and feels most comfortable, most cozy for you. But what you need to know is that fire and air are one polarity, and these signs get along very, very well, right, in that polarity. And then the other polarity is earth and water. And earth and water signs get along very well within their polarity. So we have fire and air, they're besties, and earth and water, they're besties. Okay? So for the past several decades, we have had an abundance of planets in earth and water. J'adore, right? They're friends. That's great. That's fine. But after so many years of planets in earth and water signs, things have gotten a little damp. Things have gotten a little cold. Things have gotten a little swampy, a little muddy. We're a little too caked in layers of soil. And now we're like, actually, I can't really do much looking like this. And throughout 2026, each planet, each big head honcho planet that was formerly part of this like muddy swamp orgy that's been going on for many, many years has been shaking itself off and shifting into either a fire or an air sign. So they're shaking off, they're cleaning themselves off, and they're like, wait, I can't go around looking like this. I have something I need to do. Or I have something I need to say. So they're drying off, they're heating up, and now they're moving forward and they're getting ready to express themselves. And the energy of the collective is moving from this swampy earth and water to fire and air. Fire is passion, air is motion. And when these 2 get going, it's going to get hot and it could be explosive. The first sort of gathering of these newly transformed planets in their now fire and air costumes is happening now. This is the Barbault party. This is the basket party. And this week, Jupiter is in Leo, a fire sign, at 4 degrees. And Uranus is in Gemini, an air sign, at 4 degrees. And Neptune is in Aries, a fire sign, at 4 degrees. And Pluto is in Aquarius, an air sign, at 4 degrees. 4 planets, all at 4 degrees. 4 planets all at 4 degrees that are not just planets, but are also the biggest, baddest, slowest moving planets we track in astrology. So alignments between these big, slow moving planets, when they're at the same point like this, it's really exceptionally rare. And then the fact that it's not just 2 of them meeting, it's 4 of them meeting. 4 at 4 degrees. Well, honey, it's so rare that it's literally never happened before in recorded history. And that's why over 70 years ago in 1955, a French astrologer named André Barbeau was like, ooh la la, look at this. Look what's coming. Jacques Le Bleu. Look what's going to be happening in 2026 with these 4 planets. Jupiter is expansion, so that's going to be magnifying things. Uranus is revolution, so that's going to be innovating things. And Neptune represents our belief systems, and that is going to be really changing what we all hold and regard as true. And in Aries, which is so aggro, perhaps it's going to be changing what we believe is worth fighting for. And then Pluto is large-scale, institutional, massive, collective transformation, big evolutionary daddy. Oh, and within recorded history, we just simply have never seen this. We simply do not have another moment where these 4 enormous planetary forces have aligned in this way. We have never seen this exact configuration before. So naturally, André Barbeau was like, I must research, I must write, I must predict. And do you know what André believed? He thought it was going to be fantastique. J'adore. Now, Barbeau's predictions around this were obviously much more complex than just fantastique. Imagine if that was his work on it. Fantastique. But the reason I bring it up is because I do know that les TikTok astrologers, j'adore saying catastrophic things that are really quite extreme. For example, I am currently recording this after July 4th, when leading up to that weekend, astrologers on the internet were like unknowingly rewriting the plot to the 1996 blockbuster film Independence Day. Ever heard of it? Such a good movie. I need to rewatch that. But nothing happened. Like July 4th, there was nothing, there was no Armageddon, okay? Thank God. A little PSA. If your astrologer or the astrologers that you consume content from online are constantly stacking worst case scenarios on top of each other, or if they are frequently, like as a practice, predicting disaster after disaster, or if they are just broadly making you feel worried and anxious, then honey, I do not endorse. I cannot recommend those astrologers. On the internet, the best videos perform well with a hook. Okay, you probably know this. The first 3 to 5 seconds of a video are what lock people in. And the things that lock people in are the things that elicit a big emotional response. Fear is a big emotional response. It's also a very low-hanging fruit emotional response. And if you can get that within the first 3 to 5 seconds of a video, you're going to get more views. You're going to get more engagement. You're probably going to get more followers. Is that great marketing? Yes. Is that great astrology? No. Further, I have to say that if your astrologer is a pessimist, honey, why would you want to work with that astrologer? If your doomsday astrologer is constantly seeing the world through these like apocalyptic eyes and then is also like, join me for a manifestation workshop. Come again? Why would I want that reality, that nightmare reality, to be reflected in the psyche that is helping me conjure my reality? Our reality mirrors our psyche and our psyche mirrors our reality. And not to toot my own horn here, but toot, I do think that being an inherent optimist, not an idiot, an optimist, has served me and our community well because we know how to enhance great things and make more out of them, right? And we also know how to alchemize difficult things and spin dusty straw into stunning gold. Anyway, thank you for letting me rant. I just feel like this is something that cannot be ignored in this moment of time when we have all of this really important and unprecedented astrology to discuss. And there are some very unethical people out there trying to milk it in the most disgusting and unevolved ways just to get views that lead to nothing because late stage capitalism really is that bitch. Anyway, back to this week. The fact that Barbault's basket is unprecedented and the fact that this is something that has never happened before doesn't mean it's going to be catastrophic. Astrology is not the business of guaranteeing outcomes. We should know this by now. It is the business of describing the quality of a certain time period. And the quality of this moment is about crossing a threshold and entering a new era, really stepping into a new paradigm and a new way of being in the world. And for what it's worth, Barbault did predict way before the fact that 2020 was going to be this very dark time. And this basket that's happening right now was going to shift us back onto a much better, more future-oriented timeline that was going to make the world a better place. I'm just saying, Barbault is that bitch. Barbault is our man right now, okay? And keep in mind that some of this may happen in the days ahead, but history doesn't usually announce itself while you are literally living through it, okay? The people who were living in the Renaissance were not like, I'm living in the Renaissance. The people who were experiencing the internet as it was beginning were not like, wow, everything's changing today, forever. But that was a paradigm shift time. Paradigm shifts are not observed when you are in them very often. It really is in the years, sometimes in the months that follow, that we can start to connect the dots. So my suspicion is that this basket is going to reflect that. Sure, maybe something really wild and crazy is going to happen this week because these are very, very big planets and they are making very big connections together that do happen to be very positive connections. So maybe something is going to happen that differentiates where we have been in this last era for where we are going next, right? We are going to establish this new fire and air paradigm in the days ahead. Possible, right? But it is also possible that we may not fully understand its full significance for a few months, maybe even for a few years. But I know that when we look back on this period, we will recognize that this was the beginning of a completely new chapter of reality. So don't you even think about coming into this week with fear. I want you to step into it with curiosity. Pay attention to what captures your imagination. Notice what conversations are happening. Notice the movement. Notice the energy. Watch what technologies are emerging, what systems are getting a little wobbly, what creative sparks start to fire off, what possibilities suddenly feel available that didn't even exist 6 months ago. Because whether we are talking about the world at large or your personal life, astrology measures time and cycles and movement. Astrology is living and breathing, baby. Everything is always moving. So don't resist it. This is an excellent week to embrace the flow and find opportunities to bring change into your life too. And of course, here is your journal prompt for the week ahead. What does courage look like for me right now? And this week, how can I amplify, maximize, and fully embrace the sheer force of my bravery? Oh my goodness, it's tarot time. We're going to pull a tarot card for the week ahead. And I am so excited to see what we pull because this is our Barbault basket tarot card. It's our Leo season tarot card. What are we going to get? What is it going to say? What is it going to reveal? If you are new here, hi, I'm Aliza. This is Astrology. This is your weekly brew, and every single week we pull a tarot card to help us unpack the energetics just a little more. Just peel that onion. Just keep on peeling it and see what is at its core. Oh my gosh, am I procrastinating? Am I delaying? Am I scared? Yes, I am. But I can't wait. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's get ready. What do we need to know? Two of Cups. We've seen it. We've seen it. We know it. Two of Cups, Two of Cups, Two of Cups. Fascinating, my friends, because this is the second time that we have pulled this card in not a terribly long amount of time. We actually pulled Two of Cups when we started Gemini season. So look back to see what was going on in your life at the start of Gemini season. So this would have been for the week of May 18th. So look back at your calendar, at your photos, at your journal, see what was going on in your life the week of May 18th, because there could be some themes that are coming back around again. Two of Cups is the energy of connection. It is the energy of finding someone or something who gets you, who sees you, who vibes with you, who fucks with you, okay? I am obsessed with this card. One of my favorite fun facts about the tarot and the symbolism here is that the traditional female figure is wearing the traditional male headdress and vice versa. The male is wearing the crown of roses, the traditional female headdress. So this is really about seeing the world through another person's point of view. It's walking a mile in their shoes, and it's finding someone who is willing to do that with you. Finding somebody who is willing to feel what you are feeling, to empathize with you, to connect with you. Cups are about feelings and emotions. So this is about really feeling and being seen as we move into this week. So my friends, think about it. Who are your people? Who gets you? Who supports you? Find those connections. And if you don't have one right now, it could also indicate that that type of energy, that type of individual, or that contract is going to be coming into your life this week. J'adore. I love this for us. Love this card to kick off Leo season and this basket, tisket, tasket energy. Oh my, my. Now, coming right up, I have your horoscope. You bet your bottom dollar I do. Stay tuned for your horoscope right after this very quick break. Welcome back, friends. It's time for your horoscope. As always, I want to remind you to listen for your sun and listen for your rising, and also listen for your moon, because as we talked about in last week's Wednesday episode, our tea party, these horoscopes are written from the energetic perspective of the zodiac sign. So listen to whatever is energetically inspiring for you, your sun, your moon, your rising. If you are someone who really connects to your Mercury, listen for your Mercury, see how that resonates. And also keep in mind that I'm always going to go in zodiacal order, starting with Aries, ending with Pisces. I recommend just like letting it roll because one, you have every single sign within you, right? The whole zodiac lives within your world. And also the whole zodiac lives in your life. Your bosses, your lovers, your friends, your exes, they all have horoscopes that you need to hear. So let's do it. Let us see what is in store for every single sign in this week ahead. Hello, Aries. Okay, so if the past several months have felt heavier than usual, heavier than you would have wanted them to feel, this week, don't be surprised if you finally start to feel like things are changing. This week, you are not being slapped with another responsibility. You are not being hit by another argument. There is not another massive deadline being shoved in your face. Aries, baby, this week is serving fun, genuine, playful, much-needed, life-giving fun. And like, okay, that's what all of this has been leading up to? The last few weeks, which have been ridiculously, brutally challenging, all of that just so you could have fun? Yes, Aries, pretty much. Because truly, there is nothing more spiritually meaningful, at least right now during Leo season than you having fun. As the sun moves into a fellow fire sign, it lights up your creativity and your romance and your pleasure and your self-expression. And over the next month, the universe wants to remind you that your greatest ideas don't have to arrive through trauma, but through your natural aptitudes, your spontaneity, your reckless abandon, being a little bit of a blind optimist sometimes, jumping headfirst into a new scenario, knowing that you'll be able to figure it out as you go, or at least hoping you'll be able to figure it out as you go. This week, you may find yourself diving back into a project that had been temporarily halted, or maybe developing new feelings, strong feelings for someone that you were not expecting to be crushing on, or finding a way to feel confident in your body, in yourself again, even after having felt pretty disconnected for many, many weeks now. But honey, this isn't just about chasing like a momentary dopamine hit. This is weaving into the basket that we have been talking about for so many weeks, and that's popping off right now. This basket configuration is ushering us into a collective era that rewards originality. And especially since Neptune, which represents collective belief systems, is in the mix and is in Aries in your sign, honey, you are directly involved in the shaping of this new era. And you know damn well that innovation is not born from playing it safe. It comes from being willing to imagine something that doesn't exist yet, which means you have to be a pioneer. And Aries, that's exactly what you are. You are the first sign of the zodiac. You tell us where to go. You get the whole thing started. So don't underestimate what happens when you create simply because you want to. Someone else may be waiting for your courage to give them permission to do their thing. And then that's a domino effect. And then that kicks off the whole damn thing and actually gets genuine change going. We love to see it. Hi, Taurus. Okay, T, we always talk about how much you hate change, which like fair, but I propose that maybe you don't hate change as much as you hate instability. There's a difference. You are not afraid of reinventing yourself so long as you know what the plan is. You know what I mean? And that is exactly what Leo season is going to help you figure out. Over the next few weeks, your attention is going to naturally turn towards your home and your family, your foundation, and maybe even how your past has informed and guided the person that you are today and a lot of the decisions that you've made along the way. Now, Taurus, it's possible that over the next few weeks, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you are moving, or you're renovating, or you're redecorating, or you're welcoming someone new into the space, or someone is moving out, right? Maybe you are going to have a change of heart around where you live, the type of community that you're in, and whether that alleged village actually behaves like a village of nurturing supporters, or maybe they are a village filled with angry villagers, and you're like, okay, no thanks, that's not the vibe. Basically, Taurus, if your people have not been showing up as your people, then maybe we got to find you some new people. Because home isn't just a place or a township or a city. It's a feeling. It's a sense of belonging. It's a sense of security, and it's a launching pad because it is also the place that you can trust as you are evolving and recalibrating to keep you safe, to keep you steady, and to help you figure out where you're going to go next. And this is not just about like cleaning your dishes, Taurus, okay? You may have to do that too. But what I am talking about is you stepping into this new era overarchingly around what safety and stability means during changing times. We've spent this whole episode talking about BARBAULT'S basket and this extraordinary shift into this brand new era. Well, when the collective is changing this quickly, your instinct obviously is going to be like, grip, hold on tight, can't let go. But I actually think that what would serve you best is considering what foundation is really going to support you. You know what I mean? Maybe it looks like the foundation that you came from, the one that you're standing on right now, or maybe it's building a different foundation for yourself. And that's okay too. Taurus, you're not an archivist. You don't need to preserve the past. And if you are an archivist, hold on. What I mean is your trauma isn't a museum. You need to create a home, physically and emotionally, that feels safe and supportive and inspiring for the present version of you and the future version of you. The past version of you can live in the past, where it is, where it belongs. You don't need to worry about that right now. What you need to focus on is how you are moving forward and how you are going to feel most anchored and most inspired as the world around you transforms. Gemini, I have a funny feeling that you are about to do something very, very cool, very big, very important, dare I say, maybe even very influential. And before you're like, me, little old me, Gemini, yes, you. Because here's the thing about you. You never really know which conversation is going to be the conversation. You know what I mean? You're just out here collecting little facts, chatting it up with so-and-so, sending someone memes, talking to strangers in line at the coffee shop, and then suddenly someone whips around and is like, hey, you're fucking brilliant. Can I pay you $200,000 to do that again? What? Okay, Gemini, go off. That's your magic. Over the next few weeks, Leo season turns the volume all the way up on your voice. And those little conversations, boy, oh boy, are they gonna matter. Your ideas matter, your curiosity matters. This is an incredible time to write, to pitch, to teach, to reconnect with people that you've lost touch with, or simply find a way to spit out a few new bars. Plus, Mercury finally stations direct this week. Praise be. So after a few weeks of Mercury retrograde making you a little tongue-tied, suddenly dialogue starts moving again. Maybe somebody reaches back out. Maybe you finally hear that yes that you've been hoping for. Or maybe you realize that you actually don't need to wait for somebody else's answer anymore because you've already made up your own damn mind and you are doing it anyway. J'adore. But now let's zoom out for just a second, okay? Because this isn't just about you becoming a better communicator. You already are the best. This is about weaving into that basket. That what? Yeah, the basket. The basket that has never happened in recorded history. The one that's happening this week. Oh, yeah, that basket. Uranus is in your sign. It's in Gemini, and it hasn't been there in 84 years. And Uranus is one of the major players involved in this once in a lifetime, once in history configuration. And Uranus is the planet of innovation. And you know that innovation is not just about like being an inventor. It's also about challenging the existing status quo. And that is really your superpower, Gemini. You are the collector of ideas. And this new era, this new paradigm is hungry for fresh perspectives. So stop worrying about whether your ideas sound smart enough, or if your takes are hot enough, or if your connections are powerful enough. Work with what you have, and the rest will be refined through time. Because somewhere inside one of your passing thoughts is the seed of something that has the potential to not only change your life, but very likely the world at large. And you, Gemini, are the one who is going to march us into this spicy new paradigm. J'adore, Gemini. I can't wait to follow your lead. Hello, sweet Cancer. Okay, well, your birthday season is coming to an end, but that's okay because it was a pretty heavy birthday season. Am I right? And honey, you learned a lot And I think that you have officially outgrown that armor. I think that you are finally ready to step out as this new and improved version of yourself. And honey, you look stunning. No, but actually over the past month, you have learned a tremendous amount about who you are, what you want, what you need, what you're good at, what actually matters, what you care about. Jupiter was in your sign and it is no longer. Mercury was also retrograde in your sign, but Mercury retrograde is about to end. And this is so interesting because all of these reflective and important moments have really been illuminating this core central theme, this core narrative, which is about who you are. And now you know what you're about. You know where you want to go, and you are not going to go back to where you were before. So where are we going? Where do we go from here? Well, we are moving into Leo season, okay? And as that gets started, your focus shifts towards your resources, your confidence, and your relationship with abundance. And I'm not just talking about money, although, yes, I do think that money is probably going to become a big, important part of what's going on in your world over the next few weeks. But underneath whatever is happening financially is actually the bigger, more overarching, more spiritual question around worthiness, because self-worth and net worth are actually very, very energetically intertwined. But Cancer, this actually isn't happening in a vacuum, because this basket that we have been talking about, that we've been talking about this whole episode, is ushering us into this brand new era. And every new era is one that creates new definitions of value. Entire industries change. New opportunities appear. Skills that nobody cared about 5 years ago suddenly become incredibly valuable. Do you get what I'm throwing down? Cancer, don't assume that the old rules still apply. Don't price yourself according to a world that is already disappearing. Your gifts have evolved, your confidence has evolved, and the world has evolved. So this week, I want you to stop asking, will they see my value? And start actually thinking about how you can level up your value. Because once you do, you will be ready to embrace the new opportunities that this new era is guaranteed to yield. And that, my friend, is the relationship between your self-worth and your net worth. Leo, we fucking made it. I didn't think we were going to for a moment there, but we did. We really made it. Happy birthday, my gorgeous, glamorous, magnificent lions. Happy solar return. Leo season is here. Your season is here. And honey, the universe did not give you a lazy river moment for you to throw a birthday party. No, no, no. It said Leo loves drama. Drama. No pressure or anything, but one of the most extraordinary astrological configurations in recorded history is unfolding this week. And Jupiter, the planet of expansion, also happens to be involved. And it also happens to be in Leo, in your sign, for the first time in 12 years. Totally casual, totally normal, totally low-key, not Leo. This is such a big deal. And of course, tank, this would happen during your season. But before we get too excited, and I know, your heart rate is already probably elevating by the second, this does not mean that you are suddenly going to find yourself, I don't know, going viral overnight, and then the next thing you know, you're moving into a McMansion. Even though, frankly, that sounds kind of like a curse more than a gift. But real talk, all of these astrological, huge, major energetic shifts are going to be bringing some big changes your way, something much more meaningful than fleeting fame and fortune. Leo, you are going to be finally allowed to just be yourself. Yes, you are going to feel safe just being you, whatever that means, okay? Whatever that looks like, whether you are an introverted Leo or an extroverted Leo, ambitious, exhausted, inspired, bored, maybe some wacky amalgam of it all. As the sun moves into your sign, make the conscious effort to halt all judgment, halt all shame, and just shower yourself with love and acceptance. And that is a fucking birthday present. And then this week and over the next few weeks, all eyes are going to start naturally turning your way. People are going to start noticing you. They're going to start seeking you out. They want your perspective. They want your leadership. They want your creativity. They want your warmth. Maybe you're going to be stepping into a new role at work. Maybe you're going to be launching something that you have been dreaming about for years and years. Maybe you're changing your look. Maybe you're upgrading your brand. Maybe you are shifting the way that you want to introduce yourself to the world. Whatever it is, Leo season wants your outer life to finally reflect the person that you are so excited to be on the inside. And yeah, don't forget that Jupiter in your sign is one of the 4 planets creating this once in history configuration, okay? And Jupiter expands whatever it touches. It's the amplifier. It's the magnifier. So yes, honey, it is going to be opening doors that you didn't even know existed, which means this isn't just a big moment for the collective. It's a very big moment for you personally. And you, with this upgrade, are going to help define what this next era looks like for everyone else, right? People are watching you. People are watching how you lead, how you create, how you gather people together, and they're going to watch you choose generosity over ego. Honey, choose generosity over ego, okay? Because that really is the secret to healthy Leo energy. You don't shine so that everyone else disappears. You shine so that everybody else realizes that they are safe and that they can shine too. And that is what makes you so magnetic. Virgo, okay, brace yourself for some weird feels. I know, how rude, right? Everyone else is out there frolicking. Meanwhile, you are descending into darkness, canceling plans so that you can stare at a wall. Ooh, spooky. But before you start to panic and think that something is literally wrong with you, let me reassure you. You're okay. This is normal. In fact, this is right on schedule. Virgo, this is what we call marinating. And honey, you know that the most delicious things need time to marinate. You wouldn't dare pull that lasagna out of the oven prematurely. Give it time. Let it bake. Let those flavors soak in. Over the next few weeks, Leo season is going to invite you to rest and reflect and reconnect with the parts of yourself that have gotten really drowned out by being way too booked and busy. Right now, all you need to do is pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to your intuition, your dreams, the random thoughts that keep on popping into your head because, honey, they're not random. No. They're tank. There are no coincidences. And this is the moment that you need to look more closely at those ideas that are flooding your psyche, because those ideas are probably going to guide you somewhere very, very major. Virgo, in the days ahead, you may find yourself ready to release some old resentments or end a chapter that you have secretly known was over for a very long time. Or maybe you're just going to realize and find peace with the fact that you don't need to pretend to be someone that you are not. Virgo, you do not need to drag every single version of you that has ever existed into the future. Some identities have run their course and fulfilled their purpose, and they are allowed to hang up their little hat and retire. And as you know, we have spent this entire episode talking about Barbeau's basket entering this new era. And for you, all of this observing and feeling and contemplating is really going to help ensure that you are prepared for this rapidly approaching new tomorrow. So don't you dare mistake this quiet season for an unimportant one. Virgo, you're tuned in. You're locked in. You are perceptive. You are aware. And when your birthday season comes in next month, and then we have that powerful eclipse that's happening in your axis, honey, you are going to be totally ready for what life needs to throw at you. And that is going to be because you took this time right now to learn how to trust yourself again and just be with yourself again. And Virgo, that is a nice chamomile tea, and it is yours to sip. Coming up next, we are pouring out the second half of the zodiac. So stay tuned because your personalized horoscope is coming up after a very quick break that you won't even notice. Oh, look at that. Welcome back, community. Let's hop right back into it. Your horoscope is hot and ready, so let's spill. Oh my God, Libra, I am freaking out because this week for you is so Two of Cups coded. We pulled the Two of Cups for the week ahead, and I really feel like this is the card for you because this week I need you to stop trying to make every single relationship in your life work. I know that you would prefer that like all of the existing dynamics and friendships and partnerships that you have would just like get on the same page, that everyone could just sit down, communicate, validate each other, take turns, share, and then, you know, at the end of the night, you could all split like a cute little creme brulee. But unfortunately, some people are committed to being weird. You know what I'm talking about. And there's nothing that you can do about it, right? You can't change it. They are just going to be how they are, and that sucks for them and it sucks for you, but it's time to move on. And I have good news because this week you are going to be served a reminder that there are plenty of incredible people out there who aren't going to waste your time and burn you out. It's giving Two of Cups. Over the next few weeks, your community is going to start expanding. Maybe this is because you're joining a new group. Maybe this is because you're reconnecting with people you haven't talked to in a long time. Maybe this is because somebody introduces you to someone and it's like an instant connection and you're excited to start collaborating, or you find yourself actually with friends who are like on the same level as you and you're like, oh my God, like, look, we all actually want each other to succeed. They want you to succeed. You want them to succeed. And this sort of like mutual cheerleading is very genuine. And it's not like secretly mean girls coded coming from this like nasty, jealous place. Like, no, this is true support. Libra, there is true support out there for you. There is true connection. There are truly people who want you to be living the best version of your life, and you want them to be living the best version of their life because you see each other and real recognizes real. But first, you have to stop spending so much energy convincing the wrong people to get on your level. And this means that, yeah, you may find yourself in a little bit of a limbo this week for a minute or two as you move beyond some of the existing social structures and you prepare to step into these new relationships and dynamics that are just in their, little fledgling stage right now. And this is beautiful. This is beautiful because this weaves right into the basket, the massive astrology that's happening this week, Barbault's basket. We are entering a new era where collaboration is going to matter so much. And anyone who is like locked into competition is going to be left behind. The biggest ideas are not going to be the ones that are happening with one genius locked in a room having a manic episode. They are going to be emerging by way of communities, working together, building together, sharing together. Libra, this is your vibe. Honey, you're ruled by Venus. You know how this works. You understand connection. You understand harmony. You know how to bring different people to the same table and have like a wonderful fucking dinner party. And this is about to become one of the most valuable skills of the new era. So don't be afraid to really embrace your natural aptitudes, okay? You know how to bring people together. So let's get a party going, and don't forget to invite me. Hi, Scorpio. While some other signs, Leo, would literally kill to receive the type of attention that just keeps landing on your lap, you are like, no more spotlight. It's too bright. Stop. I'm not ready. Give me more time in the shadows. Listen, Scorpio, I know. You feel like you are not totally ready to step into this moment. You feel like you need a little bit more time to gather yourself, get yourself organized, make sure that you are fully ready to present your work and be seen. But this week, Leo season has other plans over the next few weeks. But starting right now, your visibility is going to increase in a major and meaningful way. Maybe your boss starts noticing your work. Maybe a project that you have been chipping away on suddenly gets a lot of attention. Maybe people start eyeing you, considering you for a new leadership role in a way that they have never before. Whatever it is, Scorpio, your reputation, your legacy is evolving. And honey, this is a big deal. Now, I also know that being seen can be a little vulnerable. And you like to maintain control. You like choosing who gets access to what. But I want to invite you to think about it differently, okay? You are not stepping into a new era metaphorically. You are stepping into a new era literally. This is a huge week astrologically. And the world is changing. It's reconfiguring right now. And people need to know who you are. People need to know who you are as the world changes around you, because you don't want to get left behind, okay? You don't want to get swept away as everyone starts moving in a different direction. Scorpio, this doesn't mean you have to reveal every little secret, okay? You don't have to give away the whole recipe, but you do need to make sure that your gifts are visible. Pluto, your planetary ruler, is one of the 4 planets that is involved in this unprecedented configuration that's happening this week. And honey, come on, transformation is literally your birthright. But this week, that evolution has to be visible. It has to be out in the open. Why? Well, honey, it's so that other people can learn from it too. This week, your influence is going to be growing in direct proportion to your willingness to let yourself be seen, to be a leader, to be a mentor, to be an inspiration. So Scorpio, honey, get ready for your close-up because it's coming. Hi, Sagittarius. I think it's time for you to get out of town. No, seriously, you're not in trouble. At least I hope you're not in trouble. This is actually a good thing. It's time for you to really lean into that Sagittarian wanderlust and get the hell out of here, because frankly, you've been cooped up for way too long. Your soul is hungry for new perspectives right now. And when you get hungry for a new perspective, I know that nothing in your immediate environment is going to satisfy you. Nothing is going to satiate that. You got to go beyond whatever you have been staring at. And honey, that means a totally new cuisine. And this week, as the sun moves into Leo, which is a like-minded fire sign, the forces that be need you to expand. Your world needs to get bigger. So don't be surprised if you find yourself planning travel or studying something fascinating or publishing your work or becoming completely obsessed with a subject that you knew absolutely nothing about 2 weeks ago, but now you're an expert on. So Sagittarius coded. But this, my darling, is not you getting distracted. This is your soul, your spirit, remembering that curiosity is one of the greatest forms of intelligence. You know that sometimes actually getting smarter isn't about working harder. It's pivoting because you know that there's something better out there for you to be doing. And yes, you can absolutely tell your boss that you are done with the stupid assignment that they gave you because you have a better idea. And why do you think that? Well, because it was in your horoscope this week. And you can tell your boss to email me if they have a problem with it. I'm sure your boss will absolutely love that. But let's be real. There is some really crazy astrology happening. And ultimately, all of it is going to be saying, think bigger, think differently, go further. We have planets forming a powerful, positive connection that has never happened before. And it's going to be launching us, yeeting us into this new era. And this new era is not asking us to keep repeating the same old stories that we have been telling ourselves for generations and generations. Boo! It's asking us to tell new ones, to imagine new ones. Sagittarius, hey, this is what you're made for. This is your lane. This is your moment. This is your time to shine. And you are ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is one of the stars of the show this week. So if something feels exciting, expansive, or like, I don't know, weird enough to give it a whirl, well, lasso up, baby. Give it a whirl. Giddy up, Sag, because here goes nothing. Capricorn, hello. I have a feeling that somebody is about to make you an offer you can't refuse. Maybe it's going to be a financial offer. Maybe it's going to be a business partnership. Maybe someone wants to invest in you or collaborate with you or simply engage with you in a very different type of dynamic in a new way that you really were not expecting. Whatever it looks like, one thing becomes very clear this week. Contracts are great and they can be incredibly helpful. They can be life-changing, but every contract comes with a consequence. And Capricorn, you really need to be weighing the pros and cons of every dynamic that you are stepping into this week. That's tea. This week, you are entering one of the deepest, most transformational chapters of your year. Conversations around money and shared resources and intimacy and trust and commitment are about to become very, very significant. And maybe this is because you are paying off a debt or you are about to accept some big financial support. Maybe you're realizing that the terms that once made sense are no longer feeling good and you're going to need to renegotiate. There's an awareness that you are going to need to tap into, an understanding of, yes, actions having consequences and rewards carrying risks. And right now, you need to evaluate every relationship in your life to determine whether or not it is something that is enhancing your reality or something that is holding you back. And all of this could not be more well-timed, more aligned for the major astrology that's taking place. The basket? Ever heard of it? We are entering a new era, okay? We have a new paradigm that we are stepping into, and the rules of this new reality have yet to be defined. And that means that you have an opportunity to set some of these terms, to lay down the law, to negotiate something better than what you are currently working with. So maybe that means it's going to be time to step away measuring your value through productivity or achievement or accolades, and maybe start to prioritize an understanding of your greater worthiness, your inherent worthiness. You are worthy, Capricorn. You are worthy whether you are in your most successful era, and you are also worthy when you are in your flop era. You have an inherent value, okay? And that is something that can never, ever be taken away from you, and that no contract should ever touch. So make sure that you always know how special you are, and then perhaps hire a good lawyer to help you deal with the rest. You get the vibe. Aquarius, watch out! Think fast because someone is trying to throw you a bone in the best way. Leo season means it's your half birthday season. Happy half birthday, which also means it is your personal cuffing season. I know. In the summer, how strange, how Aquarius coded. Maybe you meet someone and suddenly you are rearranging your entire schedule just to spend a little more time with them. Maybe an existing relationship reaches a turning point and you're like, okay, I can actually do this. Maybe a business partnership appears out of thin air and their skills are a perfect match for what you needed support with. Or maybe somebody challenges you in a way that is so fucking annoying that you're like, marry me. Over the next few weeks, relationships are going to be front and center. Existing partnerships will deepen. Contracts may appear, contracts may be signed, especially now that Mercury retrograde is over. Hallelujah. You are going to feel so much more comfortable saying yes to commitments. And if you have been trying to do everything yourself because whatever, it's just easier that way, and you're in your like emo lone wolf aesthetic, Aquarius, you silly head, you know that you're the humanitarian of the zodiac. You know you are supposed to be among the people, be in community, lead the future by way of the people, power to the people. Come on. And this also means you need to have good interpersonal relationships. Speaking of which, did you forget that Pluto is in your sign? Pluto is in your sign, and Pluto is one of the 4 planets creating this unprecedented basket that has never happened before. It's a connection between Jupiter and Uranus, which also happens to be your planetary ruler, and Neptune and Pluto in your sign. Honey, the world is changing. Your world is changing, and your identity is evolving too, which means the people around you have to evolve as well. So don't cling to dynamics that no longer fit simply because they've been around for a long time. This new era wants you to be in relationships that reflect who you want to become. And part of that is finding a little bit of steadiness in the unknown too. Yes, Aquarius, that may mean going on a blind date. Dun, dun, dun. You can do it. Hi Pisces, my oh my. It is wild how quickly life can change. One day you're surrounded by 17 half-finished projects, 3 open notebooks, 42 browser tabs, and this strange beverage that's been sitting on your desk since Thursday. Don't drink that. And then the next day, you're a productivity princess, and everything on your to-do list has been checked off by 10 a.m. What? How amazing. But that's you. That's your magic. That's Pisces. And this week, Leo energy is lighting up your day-to-day, your schedule, your habits, your health, your workflow, and it's time to bippity-boppity-boo that area of your life. The tiny little decisions that don't seem particularly glamorous until you realize that they are building the entire architecture of your future. Yeah, those are the ones that you need to be paying attention to. Maybe that means you're starting a new job this week. Maybe you're hiring someone. Maybe you are creating some systems that finally support your creativity instead of constantly interrupting it. Or maybe you are simply realizing that inspiration isn't enough anymore. Honey, your dreams deserve structure. They deserve calendars. They deserve deadlines. Dreams? Deadlines? What can I say, Pisces? It's a crazy world. Speaking of crazy worlds, this couldn't be more on theme for the week ahead because, oh boy, we have a basket in the sky. Yes, a tisket, a tasket, a once-in-history basket is going to change the world as we know it. And Neptune, your planetary ruler, is one of the 4 planets that are leading us into this extraordinary new era. And Neptune is asking all of us to dream bigger than we have ever dreamed before. But here's the thing about dreams, okay, Pisces? They only change the world when somebody wakes up and does something about them. Pisces, your imagination has never been the problem. Your imagination is ever flowing, right? It's one of your greatest gifts. This season is about giving those beautiful visions a little structure, a little meeting on the calendar, a little buying the domain name, a little starting a proposal, a little starting before you fully feel ready. Because the future that you are envisioning isn't going to build itself. So you need to be the sexy pirate architect and build that ship for us. Ahoy, Captain. All aboard. And that is all for this episode. What did you think? What did you love? Are you ready for this Leo season basket combo platter. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think in your 5-star reviews. 5-star? Absolutely 5-star. And of course, make sure that you are following and subscribed wherever you are tuning in. I am serving every Monday and every Wednesday, and I never want you to miss a brew. So make sure to tell your friends, make sure to spread the word, and make sure that you are here with us twice a week because, honey, this is the only place to be. See you soon.